if you're looking for a $10,000 up to $10,000 emergency installment loan, okay, I'm gonna share with you where you should take into consideration. All right, now here's the thing about it. When trying to get up to $10,000 on an emergency loan and you have bad credit, you're gonna have a bigger challenge. All right, and I'm gonna break it down so you understand. All right, but here's one of the things that people do not use, and I continue to tell people, look, when you fall behind on your bills, there's one website that you can go to. One. If you go to this website, they're going to help you pay your rent. They're going to help you pay your utility bills. They're going to help you get money for transportation. If you got a baby, they're going to help you. Okay? But you have to actually go to the website and reach out to them. The website I'm talking about is findhelp.org. FINDHELP. If you go to findhelp.org, all you have to do is put in the city zip code where you live. It's going to give you all of the nonprofits in your community to help you. All right? There's no sense of you stressing over not paying your bills and stuff when there's resources out here. Yeah, I know it's hard out here right now, but there are resources to help you. And a lot of people, I think it's their pride or something. I get it. But at the same time, when you need help, especially when you have kids, go there, get the help. That being said, when you just want money, I guess you want money for a vacation, or you trying to do something or whatever, and I don't know, legal fees, somebody may have died or something like that, and you need money to help them get buried or something like that, then here's some places. But you have to have income, okay? You have to have an active checking account with regular deposits. So this isn't one of those places where you just, show up and they're going to give you $10,000. It doesn't work like that. Okay, you actually have to have income. Now, does that mean you have to have a job? No, you don't have to have a job. However, you do have to show that you're able to pay the money back. All right. So the first place I'm talking about is Together Loans. Okay, if you need a loan up to $10,000, it's called Together Loans. Now, I mentioned this before, and the reason I mention it is because you have to have a co-signer in order to get the loan. You can have bad credit, but they have to have somebody that's willing to vouch for you, say that, yo, they're good for it, okay? Now, the problem is, a lot of people, when they have bad credit, most of the time, they may not have nobody that will co-sign for them and stuff like that. And I get it, but that is a resource, okay? Now, if you're looking for a platform, then you may want to look for, like, there's a website called First Cash Advance. First Cash Advance, they go up to $10,000 as well. Now, they are a platform, okay? And also keep in mind, these lenders that I'm talking about, they're not in all 50 states, all right? Now, I'll tell you this, I don't care if you have an 850 credit score. If you cannot fix this, you're going to continue getting denied, all right? I always tell you about the third-party credit bureaus, okay? They're the ones that's holding your financial data. So with a lot of these companies I'm talking about, they go to these third-party credit bureaus. That's how come you don't get the hard pull on the credit. And they verify your name, your address, okay? That's what they're looking for. They may be looking for if you had a loan before, if you defaulted on the loan, if you had a bankruptcy, okay? So, and they get that information from third-party credit bureaus like Clarity, which is owned by Experian, DataX, and Teletrack, which is owned by Equifax, Factor Trust, which is owned by TransUnion. So they're gathering that information. And if you never fix that, I don't care if you have an 800 credit score, you're going to continue getting denied, all right? So that's one thing you have to be aware of. Now, another lender out there that I talk about is with Opportune. And here's the thing about it with Opportune. Opportune is a CDFI, a Community Development Financial Institute. Yeah, the interest rate may be much higher, but at the same time, they have so much flexibility when it comes to working with people, because you don't even have to have a social security number in order to get qualified. They just want to know that you have an active checking account with regular deposits. Now, some of you all may get hung up on this active checking account or having the right type of checking account, because with some lenders, you may have been banking with Chime. And I told you, if you're banking with Chime, a lot of lenders, they may or may not want to work with you. So if you keep running into that roadblock, that's the second roadblock, is that you need to go to a local credit union or a local community bank. Even like Chase and Bank of America, they offer second chance checking accounts. And so basically those checking accounts is, you cannot overdraft those. You can do business transactions and stuff like that, pay your bills, get deposits and stuff. You can't overdraft them. So they are restricted accounts. But there are banks out there that will give you a second chance. And those type of banks, because they use like Plaid and Decision Logic, because a lot of lenders, when they're offering you money and stuff like that, they want to verify that you have an active checking account with regular deposits and stuff like that. And so if you have like a Chime or some other off-brand bank or whatever like that, if they can't connect with that bank, then that may cause you to get denied as well. All right. So that's something you have to. So even if you have a high debt to income ratio, they're not looking at that debt to income ratio. They're looking at what's going on in the checking account. Do you have the availability? This is the reason why when I tell you, when you are looking for loans, okay, you have to make sure that your rent, and this is a hint, okay, this is a hint, that your rent is usually not over 20% of your annual income, okay, of your monthly income. All right, that's a hint, because if it's over that 20% threshold, and I don't know why, it's the way that the computers read it, then you're gonna have a higher chance of being approved. Okay, if you have that threshold of 20%. Now, another lender, and here's one. Look, if you got a paid off car, then go over to Yendo. Okay, so Yendo works with people if they have a paid off car and they have equity in it. All right, so they will actually give you a credit card up to $10,000. That's right. So thinking that it's just all in a matter of what assets you have available to you. So you trying to say, man, I need $10,000 real fast or whatever. Okay, what are the assets you have? Okay, what is it that you can use? And if you're driving around in a paid off car, and I just had a client like that, has a paid off car and everything, and the thing about it is being able to realize, because he wanted to start a bank and not even realizing that with his vehicle, he had over $25,000 in equity in his vehicle to help him start a business if he wanted to use the vehicle. Me, myself, if I got an asset that's paid off and I can leverage that asset, then that's what I would do, okay? Now, here's another one. You have Albert. Now, with Albert, most people think about just a payday loan up to $1,000. No, Albert actually offers loans up to $10,000, okay? So they have a backdoor platform that you can actually apply for loans through them up to $10,000, okay? This isn't hard. It's just in a matter of how much transparency you have, okay? And if you have any questions about business credit funding, personal credit funding, removing negative items off the credit, click the link in the description. Schedule a one-on-one consultation. Thank you.